Welcome to the Bahrain International Circuit. Any moment now, our drivers will take to the track and the Bahrain Grand Prix will begin.
Hey fantastic people, welcome back to F1ntastic Gaming, and we have our very first Last Challenge of 2022. I am so excited for this season, and yeah, what a great place to start the season off at the Bahrain Grand Prix. So yeah, I will be watching the race from the grandstands and I'm so excited for it. By the way, I am recording these voiceovers and I did record this video before qualifying, so I do not know who will start on pole position, but based on the first two practice sessions, Ferrari and Red Bull are looking strong and Mercedes are not looking that great. So yeah, let's see how it goes, but this video will be uploaded after qualifying, so you guys will probably know, and I will probably know by then. But yeah, I will be racing as Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari from the back of the grid, and I can't wait to get this going. Obviously this is on the F1 2021 game with the 2021 cars. I can't apply any mods. So yeah, but yeah, I'm really excited to see how this plays out, and I'm looking forward to an exciting Last Challenge.
The driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Perez, Lando Norris and Ricciardo, Leclerc, Gasly, Fernando Alonso and Yuki Tsunoda, Vettel, Ocon, Kimi Raikkonen and Stroll, Russell, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher and Nicholas Latifi. Mazepin and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So we're on the grid before the race. The fans in the main grandstand will get to see all of the cars on the grid pre-race, and they will get to see the race start. So yeah, the main grandstand is a really great place to be, especially for newbies in F1. But yeah, turn 1 is where all the action usually happens and the overtaking. But you can see we're deciding our race strategy, and I'm gonna come in on lap 6 instead of lap 7, which is the previous strategy, because I know my soft tires are not gonna last until lap 7. So yeah, we've come to the end of the formation lap now. We're lining up on the grid. I've gone through another car, which I'm pretty much used to by now in this game. It happens all the time. But yeah, we're coming up to start on the grid. We're gonna be in P20 and we're about to start our very first Last Challenge of 2022. So yeah, we're just about to go to 5 red lights for the 2022 Bahrain Grand Prix Last Challenge, and it's lights out and away we go. We get a bit of wheel spin, but we overall get a great start past Mazepin, and we're using the slipstream from Giovinazzi down into turn 1. Am I gonna make a classic dive bomb? Hell yeah! You can see we're up into P13 already. We nearly make contact with the rear end of Tsunoda's car, and we do have a bit of wheel banging with Esteban Ocon, I think, or is that Fernando Alonso? I can't really tell. But yeah, we're up in a P11. So yeah, we have had a great start, up 9 positions, and now I am chasing after my teammate, who is really far. Charles Leclerc is quite far down the order. I mean, back in 2021, Ferrari were strong enough to qualify higher than P9. But yeah, here's a replay of that crazy race start. You can see we made a massive dive bomb, 9 positions. That's a huge dive bomb, and I was battling with Fernando Alonso. I can now see based on the number on his car. So yeah, oh, it was 3 wide through turn 2. That's why I was making contact with Alonso, because he was kind of getting squished by Vettel because it was 3 wide. So yeah, this is the kind of action that you get to see from the turn 1 grandstand. But yeah, coming through turn 4 now, we're coming up behind Yuki Tsunoda and our teammate Charles Leclerc. You can see that we're following closely, but I'm being careful. I have to be very cautious. But I make another massive dive bomb into turn 8 and a bit of wheel banging with Tsunoda. But yeah, we make the move stick, and we're up in a P9. We're up into the points on the very first lap. This is a fantastic start to this Last Challenge. Now we're coming up behind Pierre Gasly, who in real life is actually quite a fan of the Bahrain International Circuit and has had some great performances there. He's up in P8, which is a great position for for AlphaTauri. Some good points there. But yeah, we're gonna make another dive bomb into turn 8. This one I kind of expected it, although Gasly does turn into me, which again I kind of expect from the AI, because the AI in this game, they do turn in on you when you make a dive bomb. But you can see we're very cautious on the brakes through turns 9 and 10, because I know that it is very easy to lock up under braking there. So yeah, as sparks fly into our car face, whatever, as sparks fly into the camera, the onboard camera, you can see that we're following Norris. Again, sparks flying into our car. So yeah, that's something that must be added in an update or something like that, because that's not usually the case. You don't usually have that many sparks just flying into your face when you're playing the F1 game. But I definitely like it. It adds a sense of realism, and who doesn't love sparks coming from F1 cars, am I right? So yeah, we overtook Gasly, and this has been a bit of a chase after Lando Norris, because the McLaren is pretty quick. But you can see that in the third sector especially, we are doing really well, and we catch up to Norris using a bit of ERS there, a bit too much ERS to be honest. I shouldn't be using this much ERS, but we make the overtake down the inside into the final corner. We kind of hopped on the curb a little bit, which was not good, but we got the move done, and we got a decent gap actually, 6 tenths already. So yeah, now I'm just gonna chase after Lance Stroll for P6. We are on a roll here, and I was really enjoying this race. I mean, I felt so good in this Ferrari on the soft tires, although I made a bit of a mistake there, which kind of lost me time, which definitely lost me time to Lance Stroll ahead. But yeah, I do catch up to him later. I get hit by dirty air through here, which thankfully will not be much of a problem in 2022, and I am really looking forward to the racing that we're gonna see with much significantly reduced dirty air. But yeah, you can see at the moment in this game I'm getting hit by dirty air, and yeah, I'm forced to the outside of the final corner, but I brake early knowing that Lance Stroll will kind of hop on the curb, and we make a bit of contact there as I still make it stick around the outside. We're still side by side. Lance Stroll somehow found enough grip to stay there on the inside, but as we approach turn 1, you can see Lando Norris is going around the outside. We're in the middle of a sandwich now. Lance Stroll hops over the inside curve for turn 1, and you can see that, oh, we run wide at turn 2 as we hit the throttle a little bit too much at the exit of turn 1. So yeah, that was crazy. But we managed to overtake Lance Stroll while defending from Lando Norris. That is absolutely crazy. So yeah, if I see that in real life at turn 1, that would be mind-blowing. But yeah, out of turn 3, you can see Stroll is right on our tail. He goes around the outside into turn 4. However, I have that under control. I have the inside line. I do run a little bit wide, but you know, we've secured the position. We're up in a P6. Top 6 already. This is absolutely wonderful, and now I have my sights on the top 5. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try and overtake Daniel Ricciardo, but before that we need to come into the pits because our tires are dying. I mean, that's why we were struggling on that last lap defending from Stroll and Norris. We were struggling a little bit because our tires were indeed really worn out. So now we're gonna change on to a set of new medium tires, and it's not the best pit stop. It's 2.7 seconds, quite a long pit stop. So yeah, I hope I haven't lost much time there, but it doesn't really matter because now we need to use these fresh tires to try and gain some time on Ricciardo ahead. I feel like we were gaining time on him already, and yeah, you can see we have lost a few tenths to him in the pits. But yeah, I hope I will gain that back, and I am confident I will, because I'm really feeling this car, you know. I'm really enjoying it. And on top of that, you can see the Mazepin on the soft tires, on worn soft tires. The Haas is in front of Ricciardo, fighting for position, remember? So yeah, this is really holding up Ricciardo. This is kind of like Paris holding up Hamilton at the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, except for Mazepin is not my teammate. And yeah, this is just pure racing, no team orders, no nothing. But whatever it is, it's really helped us catch up to Mazepin and Ricciardo, and as if perfect timing, Mazepin comes into the pits and leaves us in relatively clean air for us to like, you know, chase after Ricciardo. I mean, we're still in P8 right now because a couple of cars ahead have still not pitted, but yeah, I'm so close to Ricciardo. I get a bit excited on the brakes and I brake a bit too late, but yeah, we are definitely within a second. We have DRS, and that's a huge confidence boost for me because now I can really push, and I see him right there, so it gives me that hunger to catch up to him, to try and overtake him as sparks fly in our face again. I really love the animation of sparks flying in our car. Like, it's really, yeah, I like it, and it just adds a to the experience, but now we've really caught up to Ricciardo. We're using way too much overtake mode. I mean, I realized that at that point as well, but yeah, we really use up overtake mode. As we make contact, we're kind of pushing him through the corner. That's how slow Ricciardo was in the braking zone. I have no idea why Ricciardo was so slow in that braking zone, but we really caught up to him and we kind of pushed him through the final corner. And now down into turn 1, we have the inside line with DRS. We are going to make that overtake. You can see he tries to fight it a little bit, but I have the inside line and the grip in the tires and the confidence to overtake him now for good. We open DRS, and yeah, given the pace that we have, I think we can maintain a good gap to Ricciardo and extend that gap. So yeah, that's really good. We're up into the top 5, but Verstappen's 10 seconds ahead, and I'm sure that gap's going to extend. And oh my god, I nearly spun there. Nearly spun, yeah, a huge, like, you could call it a drift, I guess, because I got really heavy on that curb, and yeah, that's lost us a lot of time to Ricciardo. I know for sure I'm not catching up to Verstappen now, so all I gotta do is fight for this P5 and keep it in my hand as long as I can. Hopefully I can maintain it till the end of the race, but it's gonna be tough because Ricciardo has DRS. I mean, in the corners I pull away, but he claws that time back on the straights, and I can't use ERS because I literally have like 10%. Yeah, so I have very little ERS, no overtake mode to use. So yeah, I'm very much at risk of losing my position to Daniel Ricciardo here. You can see he's so close behind, but in areas like this S section I can really gain time on him because I have confidence in the car and I have grip in my tires. And you can see at the end of lap number 10, we have a decent gap of a gap of a second. Literally, we're really gaining time on Ricciardo, but look at the gap down the straight. It reduces rapidly because he does have DRS and ERS. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna get stuck in the cycle, and Ricciardo is gonna gain more and more time on me every lap. So I have to really be careful not to overuse my tires and then wear them out too much, because then Ricciardo will definitely get past me, and it'll be very difficult for me to maintain the position or get back past him. So this is really intense now, and I have to really push to stay ahead. But yeah, we're coming down the main straight again to start lap number 12 this time, and it's the same thing again. I have a decent gap to Ricciardo, and he just catches that up in that one straight. So yeah, he is right on my tail right now, and I run wide a bit through turn 1, not the best racing line, and I went heavily over the curb at turn 3. That did not help me at all. And if you look at the top left corner, you can see that Lando Norris is closing up on us as well. So this could end up being a three-way fight in the dying laps of this race, which would be trouble for me, to say the least. But you can see that we really struggle through turn 10. We have a bad exit, a couple of lockups. So yeah, Ricciardo really closes in on us, and he has DRS. I force him to the outside line, and I outbrake myself a bit there, and I keep it within track limits, and I can keep Ricciardo at bay because luckily I move around the track enough, legally move around the track, to ensure that he stays behind me as I tried to gain control of my car. You can see I tried to get back on the track, and yeah, taking an aggressive racing line to stop Ricciardo from getting ahead of me. And yeah, I have a very aggressive driving style on this game, and thankfully the tires and everything are coping with it, and I know the right balance of how aggressive I need to be on the circuit, because I've raced on the circuit so many times, and I've raced on the circuit in terrible cars. Like in my team, my car obviously at the beginning it definitely lacks downforce, and it's difficult to drive. So yeah, I know I'm learning how to balance with that. But back to this race, you can see Ricciardo is closer than ever, and he's definitely going for the move now. He goes around the outside. I brake really hard, and I run wide at turn 1. I go in way too deep, and he was kind of alongside me going to turn 2, but I squeezed him out respectfully. I didn't squeeze him out per se, but yeah, I took the corner, and now I braked early. I let him go through, and then I go around the outside, but I lose traction. I get a bit of oversteer, and I nearly make contact with him. We're side by side into turn 5 and 6, and you can see that he got on the curb very heavily at turn 6 and ended up making contact with us. And Lando Norris has really closed up to us now. He is right behind Daniel Ricciardo. Here's a replay of that whole battle there, so you can see at turn 4 I went around the outside, and then I got a lot of oversteer there, and I made a bit of contact with him. or I think I nearly made contact with him, but through 5 and 6 he got on the curb very heavily, and you can see that he definitely made contact with us. But yeah, that was a really interesting battle, a really close battle. And here's another angle showing that he got on the curb and then he kind of lost confidence in the steering, lost grip there, and he got really slow through turn 7. And yeah, that's a really strange. And look at the gap behind, it's extending a lot. It's extending a lot, the gap behind, and Norris is stuck behind Ricciardo. I think Ricciardo has damage on his wing, but that's very surprising because yeah, it was only a bit of contact. I'm very surprised. I'm pretty sure it was wheel bagging. I'm surprised that he has damage, and the damage seems really bad because look at the gap. And yeah, he's coming into the pits for a front wing change. Well, yeah, and look, there's visually there is absolutely no damage on his front wing. So that is very shocking that he got front wing damage from that. And yeah, I left him space on the track, but unfortunately he got on the curb too heavily. And yeah, I didn't get a penalty or anything, and neither did Ricciardo. So I guess it was just a racing incident like that. But yeah, very unfortunate. But it's good for us, I guess, because we're on the final lap. We have a good lead, a good gap to Norris behind. I mean, my tires are gone, so I'm losing time to him really quickly. But it's good enough because we're on the final lap. Lewis Hamilton has won the Bahrain Grand Prix. I think that is a bit unlikely considering Mercedes' performance in real life right now. But we're going to come across the line for P5 in our very first Last of Us challenge in 2022. I am happy with that. I'm really happy with that. And yeah, it was a tough race, a bit of bad luck for some of our rivals. But yeah, it was a fun race, and I get driver of the day. Yeah, so pretty wholesome, pretty good for us. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the 2022 Bahrain Grand Prix in real life. It's gonna be so exciting, and I'm gonna be there in the stands watching it live, watching the cars zoom by. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to drop a like on the video and hit that subscribe button for more fantastic Formula 1 content.